Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and welcome to another edition of What's in the Bag, Jay? Now, this is the segment where I pick 6 movies from my collection that I haven't seen, write their names on a piece of paper, draw 2 out at random, and do 2 reviews since we're still in quarantine. Now, returning from last week is Hellgirl. He Never Died, Boyne Falls, The Curse of Lilith Ratchet, Wes Craven's Summer of Fear. I've actually never seen this, and he does direct this film. Has Linda Blair in it. And Snapdragon with Pamela Anderson. So, let's give the bag a good tussle and see what we are watching this week. Alright, let's see. Movie number 1 is Hellgirl. Give it another good tussle. Okay, movie number 2 is He Never Died. Now, a lot of people have been wanting me to review that. So I'm going to set these movies aside while I set the other ones side by side by side. Take my trusty Freddy vs. Jason die, and we'll see what comes back next week. Remember, if I roll a Freddy vs. Jason or a 5, I have to roll again. A Freddy vs. Jason, of course. Two. All right. Now I'm going to give the bag another good tussle and pick the 2 that are going to come back next week. Let's see. Selection number 1 is The Curse of Lilith Ratchet. And the second one is Snapdragon. Now, if you want to see me review Boyne Falls or Wes Craven's Summer of Fear, definitely vote for them. But right now, I'm going to watch Hellgirl and He Never Died and come back with some reviews later. Well, I'm back. I just watched Hellgirl, and here are my thoughts. Now, Hellgirl is a 2019 film which runs approximately 81 minutes and is written and directed by Lawrence Riggins. Now, he did Assassin's Code and Deathfumetry. Now, this stars Tara Westwood as Laura. She was in The Grudge, By Dawn, and The Honeymoon Phase. Now, she has a part in the remake of The Grudge. Tom Sizemore as Jedediah. He was in Black Hawk Down, Saving Private Ryan, and Red Planet. And finally, Carrington Payne as Lindsay. She was in Fame, the remake, Sins of Our Youth, and Born to Dance. Okay, now I'm going to be honest with you guys. I thought this movie was going to be complete garbage. I haven't heard any good things about this movie. And to show you how bad it is, or how bad it was that I thought it was going to be, the lady that sold it to me absolutely hated it, and she told me that when I bought it. So, yeah. So I went in with absolutely no expectations for this film. And I have to say, I kind of liked it. I thought it was a little bit different, and while it wasn't the greatest movie, granted, I kind of had fun with it. Give you a brief synopsis. This movie is about a ghost hunting team that does has their own TV show. They have a security person, a technical person, You got a computer person. You have the show's um, parapsychic, so on and so forth. So they go to this place, which is owned by Tom Sizemore, which is supposed to have ghostly things happening. Now, we've all seen this a million times before. What I thought was actually kind of interesting about this film is you really have two antagonists. You have the little girl, who is Hell Girl, of course. I guess that's what she's called, Hell Girl. And you have this witchly other ghost person who is from the 1800s. And you're not really sure why she's there. So, all this time you're trying to figure out the team's getting picked off one by one in pretty horrific ways. And I'm going to tell you, yes, there was some CGI in it. It wasn't the greatest. There were some parts that were better than others, but there were some practical effects in there too. And I was kind of impressed. So the team's getting picked off one by one, and you finally come to one of the girls, who is the parapsychic, who is not getting picked off. And of course, there's the twist because you find out why. And I thought the twist was pretty interesting. All in all, not a bad flick. Like I said, I wasn't expecting anything from it, so it really didn't let me down. But yeah, only people who like kind of flavor of the month sort of movies that are, the supernatural kind of variety. If you don't mind something you've seen a million times before. Although, I will say it again, I thought the twist was pretty interesting. That's just my opinion, though. Take it for what it's worth. And I'll be back in a few with the second review. Okay, I'm back with our second review. He Never Died. I've been wanting to see this for such a long time. So glad it got picked this week. He Never Died is a 2015 film which runs approximately 99 minutes and is written and directed by Jason Krawczyk. Now, he was responsible for The Briefcase, and he also wrote the sequel called She Never Died. Now, I did some research on it, and it said it came out in 2019, but I can't find a copy of it anywhere. So if anybody knows about it, has seen it, please let me know. Now, this stars Henry Rollins as Jack. He was in Wrong Turn 2, Feast, and In the House of Flies. All great movies. Boo Boo Stewart as Jeremy. He was in We Are Boats, The Grizzlies, and Bad Company. And Kate Greenhouse as Carla. She was in Flash of Genius, The Dark Hours, and Festival of External Affairs. Sorry. Now, this is a Canadian film, and apparently Henry Rollins had a huge sun tattoo covered up on his back for this role. I think I might have seen it before in one of his videos or something. Now, this movie is fun. I'm going to start off with my cons. Okay, the con is they don't really explain enough about the supernatural stuff that's going on in the film. You get a brief description, but not really enough to, I had more questions. So, now here's the synopsis. Henry Rollins plays Jack. Jack is a loner, to say the least. He basically sleeps in his house all day, doesn't really go anywhere, is very short with everyone, and kind of does the same thing every day. He goes to a diner, he plays bingo, goes back home and sleeps. Well, he finds out he has a daughter from this woman that he apparently hates. And the daughter comes to visit him, and he ends up telling her to leave because he has this thing inside of him. That is all I'm going to go as far as I'm going to... Well, she ends up getting kidnapped, and he has to rescue her, but that's as far as I'm going to go with this one. There's a lot more to this film. This movie's awesome. Now, the funny part about it, when I was doing research on it, I was always told it was a, horror movie, comedy, fantasy, so on and so forth. Didn't list that on IMDb. So it just listed comedy, fantasy, thriller. So anyway, this movie is awesome. I had a ball with this film. This is a definite recommendation. Like I said, the only thing that really bothered me in the film was that they didn't really explain enough about the supernatural side of things for me to get a complete picture of what was going on. But I have a feeling that that's where they were going for the second one. So I could be wrong. I haven't seen it. But yeah, definite recommendation. The blood and gore was on point. The acting was great. Henry Rollins was made to play this part. If you haven't seen this film, this is a strong recommendation. I loved it. I thought it was great. So, and don't forget to vote for what didn't get picked. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.